At this point, you've learned how to navigate the file system, create files, and manage them. So now it's time to look inside those files and see what they contain. Get curious, get nosy. System administrators read configuration files to understand how services are set up. Security analysts examine log files to investigate incidents. Developers review code files and application output. And dev engineers check deployment logs and configuration files. In this lesson, we're going to cover the 4 essential commands: cat for viewing entire files, less for reading files page by page, and head and tail for viewing the beginning and end of files. The name cat stands for concatenate. Its original purpose was to concatenate or join files together, but is most commonly used just to display file contents. You can see the basic usage on the screen here. Cat, filename.txt. So whatever your file name is, plus the extension, the space between the cat and the file name, and the contents of that file will be printed to your terminal screen. So in Windows, the type type command and command prompt is similar. In PowerShell, you might use get content or its alias cat, and PowerShell did borrow this from Linux. Just like the other commands that we looked at earlier, you can just do cat, and you can do file 1, 2, 3, and it will display all 3 files in sequence, one after another. And this is the concatenation command that the name is for originally. You can add line numbers with the n flag, the lowercase n. Sometimes you need to know which line number you're looking at, so you could just put cat, the n flag, and then your file name with its extension. You can see on the screen the example of what the output would be. Having something lined like that is helpful when you're discussing code with colleagues or when you're reading error message references to find specific line numbers. You can use the uppercase A flag. When troubleshooting files that seem broken, hidden characters might be the culprit. So if you type cat-a and your file, it'll show the $sign at the end of each line, showing where the line actually ends. It'll show the caret and pipe symbols for tabs and other special symbols that are normally invisible. It's very helpful when you're using Linux to debug these files that were created on Windows, or if you're trying to debug files that have encoding issues. The thing about cat, though, is that it dumps the entire file to your screen all at once. That's no big deal if you just have a 10-line configuration file. That's perfect. But when you have a bigger file with a lot more content in it, they'll scroll past faster than you can read. And you'll see the last screen full of content, but everything else is gone. So that's why cat is better suited for small files. For larger files, we use other tools. Just look at some scenarios for cat right now. Viewing a config file, you can see the example on your screen. They're often small enough to view completely. Before running a script, you might want to see what it does. That's your next scenario code you can see on the screen. And for combining files, concatenating 3 files into one, for example, the original purpose of cat. And you can use cat to create files with content. Now see this example of the code, cat, and then the greater than symbol, and then the name of the file that you want it to be. And then your content, and when you're done, when you want it to be finished, you hit Control plus D at the same time, the Control key and the D key. That's to signal that you're done, the end of input, and it will save the file. So that's a quick way to create short files without having to open an editor. But when a file is too large to view comfortably with cat, less is your answer. And it's called a pager because it lets you view files page by page. So less takes over your terminal screen and it'll show you one screen full at a time, and you're in control of that navigation. There is actually an older command called more, M-O-R-E, that does something similar but with fewer features. The less command was created as an improvement to that. And it was created with the name less for the joke, less is more. When you're inside of less, your keyboard controls navigation. You can use space or page down, move down one page. Enter or the down arrow to move down one line. The lowercase d to move down half a page. You can move up with the lowercase b or your page up, moving up one page. You can move up one line with your up arrow, or you can use a lowercase u to move up half a page. Now you've seen this one before, the lowercase g to go to the beginning of the file, the uppercase G to go to the end of the file. Now 50G would go to line 50. You can also do the searching you've had a little practice with already, the / forward pattern. Question mark pattern is search backward for whatever keyword you're looking for, whatever characters you're looking for. Lowercase n to go to the next search result, and uppercase N to go to the previous search result. And Q is to quit, exit, and return to the command line. So let's say you're a system administrator and a server is having problems. You need to examine the system log. The file could be hundreds of thousands of lines. And with less, you can jump all over the place, search for what you want, navigate up and down and press Q when you're done. That's not going to work as well with cat. You can also view with line numbers. The uppercase N flag shows line numbers on the left side, just like cat lowercase n, but with all the navigation capabilities of less. Now, a powerful feature is using the plus uppercase F option to follow a file in real time. The plus uppercase F option makes less behave like tail F. It shows the end of the file and updates in real time as new lines are added, and you can press Control C to stop. Now, people use less for reading log files, navigating through authentication logs, looking for suspicious activity, for example. They'll review configuration files that are larger, where they can search and navigate as well. Now, the man documentation uses less to display manual pages. I wish you could play with the man command in the Udemy environment, but I guess we can't have everything right now. And then examining output from other commands. See this option on the screen, the pipe symbol sends the output of DMESG, which are kernel messages, to less so that you can read them. You don't always want to see an entire file. You might just want a quick peek at the beginning, and that's what head is for. By default, head will show you the first 10 lines of the file, but you can specify. If you use the N flag and put the number of lines you want to see before you put the file name, it'll show you that number of lines. And you can also use a shorter form without the N. That'll work as well. If you just only want to view the first line, you can use the N flag and a 1. So that's useful when files just have a header line that you want to check. Another use case for head is if you want to check a file's format. It's like a CSV file. You can quickly see the column headers in the first few rows of a CSV file, so that's helpful. If you want to preview a log structure, you can see how entries are formatted before diving deeper. Or if you want to check the shebang line of a script, that's often on the first line. That is typically on the first line. And they'll tell you what interpreter the script is using. You might use head to just sample large files without loading the whole thing. You want to be faster, you only want a sample of it. Now, of course, the counterpart to head is tail, and that'll show the end of the file. By default, it also shows 10 lines, the last 10 lines, though, in this case. And you can specify the number of lines you want to see the exact same way as you could with head. For log files, the most recent entries are often at the end. So when troubleshooting, you usually care about what just happened, not what happened at the beginning of the file. So if you use tail with your log files, it'll show you the most recent log entries, which is just what you need when something went wrong, or at least when something just went wrong. So that F flag for following and using that with tail showing the last 10 lines, it'll then wait and display new lines as they're added to the file in real time. So this is really powerful because you can watch logs as your application is running. You can be monitoring authentication attempts in real time, and you can see errors the moment they appear. And again, it's the same thing. Even with tail, you stop following, you just press Control C. You can also follow multiple files simultaneously. See the code on the screen. Each new line is labeled with the file name so you know where it came from. You can combine F and N to show the last 50 lines and then continue following. For example, if you typed 50, tail in 50F and your path. Tail is great for watching a log file during troubleshooting. You can have one monitor with one terminal up showing you this, and then another monitor making requests to your web server, watching the errors as they appear in real time. Using tail helps you to watch for login attempts, SSH connections, sudo usage as they happen, which is essential for security monitoring, and for checking your recent errors, getting the last 100 lines and filters for errors. That's what this code does using tail. The N flag, 100 for how many lines you want, where you're looking, what file you're looking at, and then with the pipe symbol separating your search command there where you're grep searching on error. And then it's also good for deploying an application. If you want to see if it starts correctly, watch the startup messages roll in, confirm everything is working. And if you're trying to monitor multiple services, watching both the access and error logs simultaneously. So a quick decision guide, use cat when the file is small, like under 50 lines, when you want to see the entire file at once, when you're combining multiple files, or when you need to pipe the entire contents to another command. Use less when the file is large, you need to search within it, you need to navigate up and down, and you're reading documentation. Use head when you only need the beginning of the file, when you're checking file format or headers, or when you want to sample. of a large file. And use tail when you need the most recent entries and logs, when you want to monitor a file in real time, and you only care about what happened recently. You can look at the screen, see these common patterns that people use. You can actually use head and tail together. This example takes the first 30 lines and then shows the last 10 of those, giving you lines 21 through 30. So you don't actually want to see 1 through 20, you just want to see those 10, so you're using head and tail together to accomplish this, 21 through 30, for example. Now, if you start less, but you want to exit and keep the content on the screen, you can use the uppercase X flag. When you do this, like you see on the screen, when you press Q, the content stays visible instead of disappearing. To make less search case insensitive. So the I, in this case, the I flag, doesn't mean the same thing as we've used it for before. Inside less, the lowercase I flag and press enter, and now your searches will be case insensitive. So if you're looking for error, and sometimes it's capitalized and sometimes it isn't, then you can still find it by just searching error all lower caps.